Hi, welcome to Getting Started. I'm here to talk to you today about your success in this online class. Your success is going to be about a lot more than just learning sociology. It's going to be about developing your skills as an online student. So since I've been teaching online for a number of years, I wanted to share some tips that I thought would be helpful for you so that you don't, to kind of pre-think about some of the challenges that might come up during this semester. Hopefully they can be alleviated before they even come up, which makes your semester even greater. So, of course, in an online class, technology and the computer requirements are super important. So you want to make sure you have the technology to meet the requirements for this class. Long Beach City College has an LMS program, and you can load all sorts of files into the LMS program. You will need to have a standard web browser in order to look for the LMS program and to do your work. In addition, you'll want to make sure that you have dedicated internet access. You will have to have consistent internet access throughout the semester in order to be successful. And it's going to probably be more internet access than you could use just simply like through a phone or mobile device. Also, you want to make sure you have a working device, like a backup computer or backup tablet, something that you can use in the event that your main device goes out. I know my computer goes out from time to time and I have to take it to the computer repair center, and that takes a couple of days. So it's always important to have a backup device for yourself, just in case. Now, in terms of this class, I'll be posting many of the things that you need to access in accessible formats like rich text format or PDF, which is openable by Adobe Acrobat. So you'll also want to make sure that you have the kind of software to write things that will be readable by me. So I know sometimes Apple products as well as Google Docs don't save in formats that I'm able to easily open. So it would be helpful if you send back documents, if you don't have Microsoft Word, if you use a rich text format or use a PDF Adobe Acrobat format. So those are some important technological considerations. But let me talk to you as well about the organizational considerations, because that's really important. You know, if we were on campus, you would have a set time to come to class every week. I don't know, let's say this class was scheduled on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Every Tuesday you would get yourself ready to get to campus, and you would get to class, hopefully by 6, and you'd be seated in a chair, and you would sit around, and you would wait, and you would participate in class until you're excused about 9:50, I think is what the schedule would say, for a one-night-a-week class. So you would be in class all of that time. Online instruction is not that clear because everybody's logging in at different times. However, you can do what it takes to set a regular schedule for yourself. Let's say you know Wednesday nights are good for you. You're regularly not working on Wednesday nights. Set your study time to sit down at a regular desk or a regular space and study every Wednesday night. Or maybe it's not Wednesday night for you. Maybe it's Thursday morning. Maybe it's Saturday morning. Maybe it's Saturday midday. Whatever time works for you. Or maybe it's a few times during the week. I suggest a few times during the week, especially if you're in an 8-week class. You're going to need a few times per week. So for a once-a-week class, you're going to want to make sure that you do 3.5 hours actually in the class, working on the LMS program. That's what would be required on campus. Plus, the college says you should be doing about twice that amount of time outside of class just studying. So you should make sure that you're spending 3.5, maybe up to 5 hours per week just studying, reading the textbooks, preparing for class, that sort of thing. If you're in an 8-week class, that's going to be accelerated. You're going to have to do that per module, so keep that in mind. So write down the times that you're going to spend working on your class material and be consistent. Don't skip. Very important. For example, myself, I sit down every night at about 8:30 I sit down and I work until about 9:30 or 10. And then on the weekends as well, I actually keep that schedule 7 days a week, but then on Saturday and Sunday, I usually work midday too. Oftentimes I work from like 1:30 to 2:30 or 3. So I always keep the same schedule. I know when I have those certain times in my day, I sit down, I open up my computer, and I log into the LMS program. And I check my email, and I think about the other things I need to do for class. So keep that in mind, setting a regular schedule. Very helpful. For some students, having a written down set of goals might be helpful for you. It's really easy to get disengaged in online instruction. You don't see anybody, you don't go into any place, you're just interacting with the computer. So if you have a written set of goals like, this class helps me get my degree, or this class will help me move on to this next thing, or I get to take another class after this one. Whatever the goal is for you, if you have it written down and that helps keep you motivated, do it. Sounds like a great idea. And I want to make one last statement. Almost all your participation for this online class is going to be in writing. It's very different than an in-person course where maybe you're raising your hand, you're talking in class, you're working in groups. But in this class, you're going to be writing things down, a lot of writing, because we're going to have discussion forums. And you're not going to be like videotaping a weblog, for each of those discussion forums. You're really going to be writing those things down. Actually, it would be cool to do a video log, so I'll look into that if that's ever a possibility. I think that's a great idea. So since you're going to be doing so much writing, proofread your work. Make sure the spelling is correct. Read your work to make sure it's clear and understandable, that someone else reading it would say, oh, I know exactly what they're talking about. That's an important part of written things on the computer. I'm sure many of you over time have received an email or a text message at some point where you're like, what is that person saying? I have no idea. Or you misinterpret, gosh, I think they're mad at me, when in fact they're not. So proofread to make sure that your message is getting across clearly. Please feel free to ask any questions. You can email me at cotto@lbcc.edu. Once again, it's cotto@lbcc.edu.